Tonight, a home away from home. We're learning the Ronald McDonald House is making roots in the Northland in hopes of helping families who need it most.
Plus, ask and you shall receive. One day after requesting the governor release millions in COVID funding, the money is en route to Duluth.
And reassessing law enforcement training, what colleges are hoping to change in the wake of police reform.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Duluth will soon be home to the 5th Ronald McDonald House in Minnesota and the first one in the Northland.
The house, which will be located at Essentia, will serve as a home away from home for kids and their families during the toughest of times. CBS3's Leanne Valdez has the details.
There will soon be one less challenge for the Northland's youngest medical patients.
We're thrilled that in partnership with Essentia Health, the new Ronald McDonald House in downtown Duluth will enable families in the Twin Ports and all across the Northland to stay in close proximity.
A Ronald McDonald House provides families of young patients a free temporary space to call home during a time of medical uncertainty. This new location will prevent families who have a child receiving medical care in Duluth from having to spend money on things like lodging, food, and more.
We know that pediatric patients do better with their families when they're close by.
When complete, it will serve 5 families at a time and come equipped with a full kitchen, family room, laundry, and more. Families will be able to stay for as long as they need.
It alleviates the financial pressure as their child is going through the serious medical crisis and enables them to spend precious time with their child and helps them focus on healing. In terms of number of days, there is no cap. It really depends on the acuity of the child's illness or injury.
When it comes to COVID-19 concerns, officials say they'll be keeping their eyes on the state of the pandemic and possibly make adjustments.
As we go through this pandemic, there are unknowns. And, it may be that we may be less than at 5 capacity. I'm not quite sure yet, but I know that we'll be there to serve as many families as we can.
The cost to operate the Ronald McDonald House is $325,000 per year. It's expected to open late this fall with construction starting next month. It will be open to anyone receiving care in the Northland, not just at Essentia.
A 9-year-old Haven girl was seriously hurt when she collided with a FedEx truck while riding her bike. Now the community is stepping up to help her through the recovery. The crash happened around 11:30 Tuesday morning at the intersection near Rose Sedgevic's home. Authorities say she was taken to the hospital with a broken femur, cracked ribs, and several other broken bones. Police called it an accident and said the driver of the truck will not be charged. Now a family friend set up a GoFundMe account to help Rose's family. They said it's an especially hard time for them as her dad, who works at an Iron Range mine, was laid off, and their family is expecting their 4th child soon. The GoFundMe has collected more than $15,000 in just the last day. We have a link on our website.
With the stroke of a pen, $6.5 million is on its way to Duluth. The money comes from the Federal CARES Act. Governor Tim Walz used his executive powers today allocating the money. It will be used to recoup costs related to the COVID-19 pandemic. It cannot be used to offset budget losses. Walz used executive powers after lawmakers reached a stalemate during the recently adjourned special session.
All right, Dave's going to give us a quick look at the weather. Dave, a lot of sunshine out there. Is that going to stick around?
Yeah, I think it will, with a break tomorrow morning when we get that chance for thunderstorms. The warm spell began today, Tony. Let's take a look at our top temps so far. And the range ran from about 77 to 84. And thanks to a westerly wind and downsloping from the hills to the lake, it was actually warmer by the lake today. As I always say, turnabout fair play. So Park Point hit 84 degrees. While up the Gunflint, it was 77. Everybody else in between. This warm spell likely will last for the next week. And next week, it'll get a bit humid, stay warm, and inland some towns could crack 90 degrees. Here's our upper Midwest satellite radar combo map here for the region showing higher pressure brought sunshine today. But that low pressure system to the west brings a chance for showers and storms later tonight through probably about the noon hour tomorrow. Our day planner then for Friday indicates 40 to 50, even 60% rain chances through the early afternoon, then clearing up and staying warm. I'll talk about what that means for the weekend in just a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. New at 6, the Minnesota State College system is taking a second look at the way their law enforcement training programs are structured.
A group of faculty from across the state started reviewing the training programs earlier this year, but are now hurrying the process along in the wake of George Floyd's death. CBS 3's Emma Quinn explains why.
And the Fond du Lac Tribal Community College is just one of several Minnesota state institutions who are reviewing their police training programs after the death of George Floyd sparked nationwide conversations about policing. A group of law enforcement educators will be reviewing the main objectives the criminal justice and police training programs are teaching in class. Wade Limerandi is the law enforcement program coordinator for the Fond du Lac Community College. He says the way each institution teaches those objectives can vary, but he added the main goal is to give officers all the tools they need to help the communities they serve.
This is a noble profession. You know, this is something that I had a full law enforcement career before coming here to Fond du Lac. And you want successful people. You want the program. You want the profession to be serving the community in the right way.
Limerandi says one of the biggest aspects of the Minnesota State Group will be looking at is the use of force and implicit bias training. He adds the community college will also be doing its own review of the program. And Fond du Lac administrators say being a state and tribal college, they have a lot of diversity in their classrooms, and that can have a large impact on their students.
Thanks, Emma. And coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from Minnesota State system leaders about why they say this review was so important and what their next steps will be when it's finished.
Hibbing police are conducting a criminal investigation into an elementary school teacher. According to the police chief, the department is actively investigating a complaint but has not arrested anyone. The Hibbing School District Superintendent says they are also looking into the allegation. They wouldn't say what the complaint entailed. The person under investigation is a 6th grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary School. CBS 3 is not naming that person until charges are filed.
The Minnesota PUC today denied requests to reconsider its approval of Enbridge's Line 3 pipeline replacement project. Several Ojibwe bands, environmental groups, and the State Department of Commerce had asked the commission to reconsider its approval granted 2 years ago. They cited dropping oil demands, climate change, and other factors. The commission today denied that request, saying that the need to replace the decaying Line 3 outweighs other concerns. Enbridge released a statement saying they'll start construction on the $2.5 billion project once they've received all the permits. Meanwhile, a judge shut down Enbridge's Line 5 pipeline, which starts in Superior and runs under the Straits of Mackinac in Michigan. The state made the shutdown request. There's concern about a support piece deep underwater in the Straits. The judge ruled Enbridge has not clearly shown the pipeline is safe. It carries oil and natural gas from Superior to Ontario.
Duluth's former chief administrative officer has been tapped to lead a local nonprofit. David Montgomery has been named the interim president and CEO for the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. He will take over for Holly Sampson, who's stepping down Tuesday after 30 years in that role. The search for a permanent leader will continue. The foundation has distributed more than $60 million in grants and scholarships in the last 4 decades.
July is expected to be the busiest month at MSP International Airport since the COVID-19 pandemic began. And airport officials say they have a plan to keep passengers safe. It's called Travel Confidently. There are 2 main components. The first includes increasing cleaning at the airport. Also, travelers will see plexiglass shields, hand sanitizing stations, and social distancing floor decals throughout the terminals. The second part of the plan includes giving travelers information and recommendations for safe traveling.
We've been #1 airport in cleanliness for the last 4 years, but this is a stepped up effort from that, obviously, to ensure that we are taking the appropriate steps following the CDC and MDH guidelines to ensure that travelers can be safe and confident that our facility is as clean as they travel through it.
This new program was developed in partnership with airlines, food vendors, and federal agencies.
President Donald Trump spent the day in Wisconsin touting his Buy America initiative at a shipyard now tasked with building U.S. Navy ships. President Trump visited Marinette Marine. The government recently awarded the shipyard a $5.5 billion contract to build a new line of ships for the U.S. Navy. Construction is expected to last more than a decade and create thousands of jobs at a shipyard that had previously struggled financially.
You've kept our sailors safe and our Navy strong. Every single day you prove that American workers are the best in the world, and now you're going to do things like you've never done before.
President Trump did not mention any of the ongoing calls for racial justice across the nation or the recent violence in Wisconsin's capital. He did, however, claim the U.S. had, quote, the greatest COVID-19 testing program in the world. He also claimed the country is making thousands of ventilators per week.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3 with tourism season in full swing. We're taking a look at the work being done in hopes of preventing future damage along Duluth's popular lake walk.
Normal high is 73. Today we got 83, the record 93 degrees. Will we get close to the record territory next week with the warm spell coming aboard? I think we could at least get vaguely close, and we'll give you that forecast in less vague detail coming up in a few more minutes.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson. On Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS 3.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Dr. Jason Buffington introduces lifestyle medicine, which advocates therapeutic lifestyle changes rather than medication for the treatment of chronic disease.
The American College of Lifestyle Medicine recognizes 6 main factors that we really focus on for helping people change their behaviors: changing to a healthier diet, being active and exercising, decreasing tobacco and moderating alcohol use and any other toxins or drugs in our environment, helping with sleep, stress reduction, and also healthy relationships. When a patient comes in for a consult with a lifestyle medicine provider, we'll go through those 6 healthy factors of lifestyle medicine. A lot of times there's just 1 or 2 that we need to focus the most on. Worldwide, diet currently is the #1 cause of disease, and that tends to be the one that people need the most help with. All of our appointments are 40 minutes, which is a lot longer than a typical doctor's appointment, so we can really tease out the factors and their health goals.
Dr. Buffington says unhealthy lifestyle factors have led to skyrocketing disease rates. Lifestyle medicine is a new approach that helps target the root cause of disease.
We know now through many years of science that probably 80 to 90% of the diseases that we're getting as Americans are related to unhealthy lifestyle factors. 72% of Americans are overweight or obese. About 14% of Americans have diabetes. Lifestyle medicine hopefully will help people change their unhealthy habits so we can prevent that from skyrocketing further.
Lifestyle medicine is now offered at the Essentia Wellness Center in Hermantown. For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
This Medical Insight was brought to you by Essentia Health. To learn more about the services we offer, visit essentiahealth.org.
We see you as you sit behind the wheel of your truck. We see you shake out the nerves before you pick up your hammer, your scissors, your pots and pans. As you find new ways to keep the lights on and put the pieces back together, we see you. As you straighten the rows, keep your customers safe, and crunch the numbers, we see you. As you head back to work, we see you. You've got this. We're open to help you reopen. Visit bbb.org.
Friday, we honor the very best of daytime television.
See all your favorite daytime performances,
past daytime Emmy show moments,
and your favorite daytime stars.
Recognizing the best in daytime TV, hosted by us.
Talk about a fun-filled Friday night.
I'll bring the popcorn.
The 47th Annual Daytime Emmy Awards, Friday, 8/7 Central on CBS.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Duluth Casino. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS 3. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, now we cast our live look eye upon the Hibbing-Chisholm area, Mitchell Bridge. Sky above, well, we started the day with sunshine region-wide from higher air pressure, but that high's fading away, a low's coming to call, and the clouds are already on the increase. After midnight, there's a chance those clouds will kick up some rain, some thunderstorms as well. Hopefully we get at least a little bit here to bring our rain totals up a hair. It's been hard for a while here, And frankly, this system isn't going to do it, but we'll take every little dribble we can get the way things are going. Here's what we get right now, current condition-wise at the airport in Duluth. 79 degrees, so that high of 83 is already starting to dial down a little bit. 35% for the relative humidity is actually dialed up a little bit, so the increasing cloud cover is making a difference. Westerly winds going 9 miles per hour. Air pressure, though, still static and holding steady at 1,011 millibars, or 29.85 inches of mercury. Current temps, 76 to 78 from Watersmeet to Ironwood. We're looking at 79 to 81 around northern Wisconsin, the 79 being found in Solon Springs. 81s from Ashland down Highway 2 there towards the Superior area, and probably cutting through Iron River as well. 81 also Moose Lake, upper 70s North Shore. 60 right by the lake though in Grand Marais. 81 Ely, 75 Hibbing, 77 Grand Rapids, and 77 as well International Falls. This is the start of a warm spell that likely will be with us for the next week. Humidity levels tolerable today, but they could increase as the week goes on. It'll be warm and humid next week. 80s closer to the lake, and even 90 possible, especially once you get west of Grand Rapids and down south of the Hayward area. Well, the Doppler map right now is showing that low pressure system we've been eyeing up from the northwest, starting to cross the border from North Dakota into northwestern Minnesota, and it's looking like rain right now with a few isolated thunderstorms. There's a chance now after midnight tonight that gets to us. Best window of opportunity for rain around our region will likely be 3 o'clock in the morning till about noon. Then we'll start to clear up tomorrow afternoon, which will set us up for a sunny weekend with high temps around 80 degrees at the head of the lakes, and again, warmer probably farther inland. So if this rain chance pays off, it looks like it's a 50% chance for Minnesota, 60% chance for Wisconsin and Michigan. Our rain totals are probably going to look like this. They're not going to be that impressive, but like I mentioned, we need every little bit that we can get. Maybe a tenth of an inch or so in Wisconsin and Michigan, but perhaps a third to a half inch for Minnesota. If you get it, great, put it to use, because by Saturday and Sunday, yeah, it dries up once again. Tonight in Minnesota, your low temps will be 50s by the lake, 60s inland, increasing clouds, which will increase to Wisconsin and Michigan as well. Low temps, low 60s there. High temps tomorrow, 78 to 82, Wisconsin, Michigan. 60% chance for morning showers and storms. Minnesota's 50% chance of showers and storms will be there as well, with highs near 80 once again. And now with the extended forecast, Kristen and Anthony and Kelly, oh my, what a weekend. Sunny and 83 degrees, very summery since we are on the doorstep of July. Then our next rain chance will be with us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 40% shots at showers and storms.
That weekend is nothing to complain about. Thanks, Dave. If you've been to Canal Park recently, you might have noticed the constant delivery of massive rocks to the lake walk. The rocks are meant to help prevent further storm damage to the lake walk. The rocks are so big, the dump trucks that carry them can only hold 2 or 3 at a time. Project supervisor Michael LeBeau says the rocks come from a quarry 15 miles north of Duluth. Ultimately, 76,000 tons of rocks will line this stretch of the lake walk.
These will be anchored into concrete beams that are embedded in the ground and protected by the concrete wall, so it's very different than what was here before. Plus, we're raising the grade, you'll notice. If you go look at the wall down there, we're raising the grade a couple of feet.
Right now, the rocks are in a massive pile, but eventually they'll be spread out along the lake walk. Some will even go on the bottom of the lake, where they will help break the waves. The project should be finished by the end of the summer. Some landscaping work is planned for next year.
Glensheen is reopening its historic mansion. The move marks phase 2 of the reopening plan. To help with social distancing, they're holding smaller tours and moving in a set direction around the home. Glensheen reopened its grounds to the public 2 weeks ago after being closed for 3 months.
The Duluth Depot will reopen next week. Starting July 1st, people can visit the St. Louis County Heritage Arts and Culture Center Tuesdays through Sundays. Guests are asked to wear a mask. Admission will be free, but the Depot is asking for donations.
New plans are in the works for the former Telemark Lodge in Cable. The American Birkenbeiner Ski Foundation announced today it hopes to demolish the vacant building and redevelop the property. They're applying for a $500,000 state grant to help out. The Berkey organization already takes care of the trails around the lodge. Now they want to bring the Telemark property back as a community centerpiece.
Really, I think what will be successful is creating a really broad, strong base of outdoor recreation, which we know works in the Northwoods, and then start to build a lot of amenities on top of that.
Some of those amenities could include a hotel or restaurants. Now, last week, the Cabletown Board voted unanimously to support the Berkey Foundation's plans.
Coming up in sports, the MLB is slated to return, but a few Twins players have tested positive for COVID-19. How this could impact the team's return, coming up next.
Get your new John Deere tractor from Duluth Lawn and Sport, the region's largest power sports dealer.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
I guarantee you, if your home just burned to the ground or you had a major accident, your first thing you're going to think about is not going to be, I just saved $500 on my auto and home insurance today. It's going to be, am I covered? At Vernon Insurance Agency, our first, second, and third goal is that you understand your coverage, there's no gaps in coverage, and your claims are covered when you have them. Call Vernon Insurance Agency today, 218-384-3970.
We all deserve more summer. So DQ is bringing you two summer favorites in one. With the new Drumstick Blizzard with peanuts. A drumstick, the original sundae cone, and our world-famous vanilla soft serve. Let's fit more summer into every bite. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Outpatient surgery excellence. More than 170,000 procedures performed and a 98% patient satisfaction rating. Save on your out-of-pocket costs. Have one caring nurse from pre-op to post-op, 80 accredited physicians and 15 specialties, and a state-of-the-art imaging platform. Outpatient surgery excellence. Lakewalk Surgery Center.
Has your roof seen its better days? Call Peak Construction Roofing today for your free estimate at guaranteed affordable rates. Peak Construction can finance you and will help you step by step from start to finish. Call the best, Peak Construction Roofing. They'll do the rest. Let us take care of you.
We dance for healing. We dance for one another. For connection. In ways like no other. Together. Or even apart. We are resilient. The 2020 census is here, and we need to do our part for our people.
Newmy Jewelers is having a Neighbors Helping Neighbors event. We are partnering with the Superior YMCA to help those in need. When you bring in an item for donation, you will receive 25% off any in-stock finished jewelry. Newmy Jewelers thanks you for shopping local.
Fond Duluth Casino wants to celebrate your birthday with you all month long. Every day during your birthday month, you can receive up to $30 in club cash and a $10 blackjack match play.
Did you say every day?
Yes, every day of your birthday month. Stop by the Players Club or log on to FondDuluthCasino.com for all the participation details. We're celebrating your birthday all month long, so you can
have a great time out at Fond Duluth.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
Earlier this week, Major League Baseball officially announced that it would be returning amidst an agreement of a 60-game schedule of a season. Today, we learned that a few players in the Minnesota Twins organization have tested positive for the coronavirus. Twins president of baseball operations, Derek Falvey, spoke on a Zoom call this morning with reporters saying that, quote, a few players have tested positive, not specifying if they were major league or minor league players. Falvey said that the players were not in Minnesota or at the team's spring training facility in Fort Myers, Florida. The players tested positive over the past few days and are currently in quarantine. Along with the rest of the league, players are in the clear and are expected to report to their respective training camps by July 1st if they pass the tests. The league has a target start date of either July 23rd or the 24th for the start of the 60-game season. Playoffs will include 10 teams and 10 games. This week, the Wisconsin football program announced that former Northwestern Tiger Tom Burke is going to be inducted into the Badgers Hall of Fame. Burke played at Wisconsin in the late 1990s, winning a Rose Bowl, the Bill Willis Trophy awarded to the nation's top defensive lineman, all while breaking the Big Ten sacks record with 22 in his senior season. He was selected in the third round of the 1999 NFL Draft and ended with an illustrious football career. Burke now resides in Northwest Wisconsin and says he is thankful for all those who have helped him along the way.
Well, number one is, it's achieving things that people don't think you can do and proving that, anything's possible. That gives belief and hope to other kids. And right away, it's the number one achievement in my football career. It's the highest of all highs. It's been on my mind a lot lately, too. I've been thinking about that, and I really needed something great to happen in my life, and then it just came about. And I've known for a while now, and I've kept my mouth shut and kind of wanted everybody to hear about it, not through me, and then it came out, and it was a great deal.
But really just try to be respectful of one another, have a great time with the Derby, and make sure that we do something that's unique and special as we move forward.
Spectators will be allowed at the Kentucky Derby this year. Churchill Downs' officials say that they consulted with Governor Andy Beshear and health officials to come up with safe guidelines. There will be reduced capacity to limit crowd density Derby weekend. They say general admission tickets that only grant access to the infield will be limited to a specific number of people. Guests are encouraged to wear masks at all times. The track will also have limited access throughout the facility, specifically to the barn area. Derby week will be this September 1st to the 5th. And coming up tonight at 10, former UMD goaltender Hunter Shepard is heading to the professional level. We will hear from Brant Nicklin, Shep's goalie coach of 4 years over at Amsoil Arena at UMD, as he reflects on the record-breaking career in net that was. That's going to do it for sports. I'll send it back to you, Tony and Kristen, in the studio.
Thanks, Kelly. Well, here's one for your 2020 Apocalypse Bingo card. Giant Saharan dust cloud moving towards the southern portion of the U.S. Did you have that one?
No.
No, okay.
I guess I should add it to the list. Here's a satellite image of a massive cloud of sand dust making its way around the globe. And here's what it looks like on the ground as it crossed into Colombia. The latest NASA model projecting the path of the dust has it heading into the deep south from the Gulf of Mexico on Wednesday. The next round will hit Texas on Thursday through Saturday and then hook back eastward over the southeast and Tennessee Valley area.
Just one thing after another.
Yeah.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Calmer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, it's fascinating to study the motion of the trade winds and then getting caught up in the prevailing westerlies to give it that hook like a hurricane gets. Here in our neck of the woods, we're firmly in the prevailing westerlies, so we're eyeing up a low pressure system coming in from west to east. That brings us a 50% chance for showers and storms tomorrow morning. Hopefully we get a little rain out of the deal, because as early as Friday afternoon it dries up again, then stays sunny and warm at least through the weekend.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 10.
CBS